it's the 24th of December, and in Denmark, this is when we celebrate Christmas. So, but I did want to jump on and talk to you a little bit about how to spend this last week of the year in preparation for your job hunt in 2026. Because even though December is not necessarily the best job search month, there's so much you can do in preparation to make 2026 a really, really good job search year for yourself. So first things first is, if we're starting from total scratch, we're talking about knowing your own values and knowing who you are, because when you know who you are, it's easier to put that into a context of a new company, a new role, a new country for that matter. So that's like very, very basic, very start. But for right now, what you can do is very simply prepare. Like, go in, look at who is it that you want to be talking to, who is it that you want to set up coffee meetings with, who is it that you want to be networking with in the new year. Spend some time, do some research between Christmas and New Year's into these things. Look at who are the people who can actually help you in the new year, who are the people that maybe even already now, I know that there's going to be pros and cons to this, but you could reach out to them now and say, hey, in an email or on LinkedIn, hey, you're a super interesting profile. I would love to catch up with you in the new year. Would you have time for grabbing a cup of coffee or something like that? And then most people are on vacation, right? So might not or might answer depending on how they check their email, check their LinkedIn. But then a few weeks into the new year, you can follow up on that, because if they're not checking their emails and their stuff during during Christmas, New Year's break, then they're gonna have a shit ton of emails when they come back, right? Or messages. So instead, then making sure that you follow up a few weeks into the new year, because we want to give them time to just come into the new year and get sorted out in their email, give them a chance to answer. But if they haven't, then follow up and say, I know you probably had like really a lot of things to get back to after the new year, but what could we do, or no, that's not what I wanted to say. But let them know that yes, I knew that you had a lot after the new year to come back to. I just wanted to follow up on the message that I sent you. Hey guys, we are talking about preparation for 2026 in terms of job search in Denmark. So what you can do now to give yourself the best odds to land a job and and get an amazing 2026. So start by finding the people, the companies, do research, spend some of this time. Also, by the way, remember to relax, remember to like do vacation. I'm saying this being online here on the 24th of December, which is a bit counter, but I just felt like it makes sense to come on and chat with you guys today about this, because you have a few days now where things are a bit more quiet maybe, and there's an opportunity here to get started on like 2026 in a good way. So you're doing a bit of the prep work now, so you can kind of have a running start in 2026. And that is what I want to talk about and what I think is important here. And by that, doing research on what are the companies, what are the industries. Maybe there's something has happened in 2025 in the industry you work in or that you want to work in that could be really interesting to to sorry, you kind of look like, I have no idea who that is. So thank you. I guess I don't know if that's a thank you or if that's a fuck you, to be honest. So, but you kind of sidetracked me here, so I'm gonna try and get back on track. But yeah, do the research so that if there's something happening in your industry that could be good to refer back to when you message people, you know that, right? So that you can say, hey, this is so interesting. We had this, I see that in this industry, there was a development of this, or AI really took precedence in this industry. I would love to chat to you about how that's affected your company, your position, your whatever it is, so we can kind of prep both on the industry, look into what is it you want to dive into in 2026. What is it that you feel makes the most sense to start with and start strong with and start focused with, so that you have that plan, so you don't wake up on January, I'm gonna say 2nd, because I'm guessing a lot of people are gonna be hungover on January 1st. But whenever you start, that you already have that plan, that you already know where you want to go, right? Instead of being um stop instead of stumbling. This is going well today. Instead of stumbling over just like, oh no, I don't know where to start, then spend the time now to do that prep. I'm gonna read a little bit of the comments here. I've got 250 hours of annual leave and my manager keeps pestering me to use it. That's nice, I guess. um Yeah, okay. Oh, this is actually, thank you. I think I might want to do a video on this at some point specifically. You're saying that AI kind of concerns you in regards to office work in the long term. I totally understand. And it's, of course, something that I also have been thinking quite a lot about. One, remember to take the leave. I want to say that the leave is important for your mental health, for where you are, for what you do, as long as it's something that makes sense, of course. Um, the thing about AI and the concern about your job, that is, in my opinion, super valid. I I think that what you can do best, now you have 250 hours of leave, so you could spend some of that to actually go learn AI, go figure out. I think that saying something um, is like learning something that can help you in the job, that can make you that person that is not the first to be let go, if that's the case. Be the one that knows the AI, so that spend the time to learn something that can be useful. So I think that in the world we live in today, the in general, having like keeping evolving, or yeah, evolving and upping our skills is super important. So depending on your area of expertise, figuring out how can AI fit into this, or if it's something else, is there something else that can make sense for your industry, in terms of maybe you want to learn, I don't know, to weld or do something else that could be super important. But I think, and this is a huge but, in the sense that it has to be something fun for you. It has to be something that when we do stuff outside of work, or if we're unemployed as well, outside of job search, that we're doing to kind of gain new skills, choose something that, of course, have application, something that would be interesting, right? But also, for the love of God, choose something you think is fun, something that you would love to actually do um in the longer run, something that gives you energy. Okay, AI says your hair is green. That is correct. I think the correct color is teal, but I'm not quite sure. But thank you. Me mom died in holding me dad's landscape by me book in it. I'm sorry if your mom died. I have no idea what the rest means. Um I was thinking of getting a trade, maybe. I know the line of work will remain reliable and enjoy working with my hands. I think that is a super, super good idea. Um, yes, you can only hit this Excel spreadsheet so hard. You're right. So I think, to be honest, I really also do think that the trades are where, like, that is also a very, very good way to go. I've been thinking about it myself. I just don't know what would make sense. Um, I think there's two things in terms of, one is going back to the trades of, like, this could be carpentry or whatever it is, plumber, whatever that is, hairdresser, all these things. And the other direction would be something where um something where it's about the human connection. So I think those two roads are super important in the upcoming time. I'm probably gonna swim more into the human connection, which is what I'm already doing with my career coaching, of course. But figuring out what suits you better. So if you're afraid for your job, is it figuring out, okay, maybe there's three paths, right? Because there's like figuring out the AI and being the go-to, being that person who just knows. And then because AI is so broad, right? So figuring out like what a specific area where you can be the expert within AI, or going into a trade where it's more work with your hands kind of thing, or go more into the people's skills, like go more into where it's more about empathy and more about being there for someone else in a sense, right? I hope that makes sense. But that's also, and going back to the topic of the video that I originally planned here, would be that's something that you can then think about, like spend the time here between Christmas and New Year's to make those decisions, to figure out. And I know they can be huge decisions that are not made in a day or two, but then at least start journaling about it, or figuring out what makes sense to you. What are the pros and the cons? What is it? Because it's better to react now than it is to react when you get fired or whatever it is, right? So, I don't think anybody has ever said 6'7" to me before. So now I feel young, or I don't know. I'm not like 8'9". No, sorry, so bad joke. I'm gonna wrap up now, but so spend the time wisely. That's what I want to say. Spend the time here between Christmas and New Year's, or through the holidays, to either prepare for a specific plan for how you're going to jump into job search in the new year, or use it to reflect on your life in general and figure out what is it that you want to do going forward. What is it that, is there another career path that would make sense? Could you do even classes next to your evening classes, next to what you're doing now, in a way that you don't just have to quit to then go back to school, and that costs money? So is there a way that you could kind of do both for a while until you're ready to make the jump? um I hope that makes sense. So then I just want to say thank you guys for jumping on today with me here for this impromptu video, and happy holidays. I hope you guys are going to be, if you celebrate Christmas, that you're celebrating Christmas with loved ones. Feel free to jump onto my LinkedIn and say hi as well. Um, you're very, 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 very welcome. That was hard to say. And yeah, I love to see you guys in the new year. I jump on live once in a while, and add some value, hopefully. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. I'll see you soon.